I shouldn't say police. We're the fashion praisers if we don't like it.
I like.
Yeah,
Oh,
but we're also known as Octessica.
Octessica.
Like Brangelina, Octessica.
I like Octessica.
Yeah.
Put that out there. We're changing our name.
We're changing it. Like
Octessica, so I could say Octessica.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are
I like that.
Octessica.
Octessica.
We've never done that with two girls.
And we don't have to be a couple to do that.
No, we
Do
don't.
like a YouTube page.
Okay, thank you. We're speed.
Okay, ladies, it's the 1960s, Jim Crow laws. So you go back in time and you're playing two women who kind of are like polar opposites. Actually, you're kind of the same in so many regards.
Yeah.
So what was it like to kind of develop those characters in the 1960s, actually in Mississippi?
Well, I guess I never saw Minnie as subservient, and that is a good thing. But I did understand that she was oppressed, and that was also a good thing because I don't know what it's like to be in a very oppressed environment. And what it made me do was appreciate where we are today. It was difficult. I won't pretend that it wasn't difficult to be there emotionally, but the wonderful thing about the set is that we were the friends. I had a lot of friends behind the scenes, and then developed some real friendships in Viola and Jessica. So much so that Jessica and I have changed our name.
To Jessica.
We're Octavia.
Octavia.
Well, no, I'm Octavia.
Oh, you're. I'm horrible at this.
Yeah,
We'll tell you that at the end.
It's like Brangelina.
Okay.
We're not a couple. We're just friends, but we're
Octessica.
Octessica, yes.
Yes. And actually,
I'm sorry.
I just said Octavia. Okay. For me, I never actually saw Celia as outspoken. In fact, but she learns how to be through her friendship with Minnie, and that's what I loved so much about the relationship.
And speaking of friendship, like friendship was such a vital foundation for this film. So how did you two kind of merge those roles to create what we saw in the film?
Well, it's a beautiful thing because I think there were a lot of friendships like that in real life. The unlikely friendships, and that's what I loved about this film is that it explores that, and to me that's what makes it triumphant. But you know, I guess it made you just sort of take a step away from what you knew, and the unknown is very scary, and just trust really that you know, those friendships would form. But I don't know, I think the material, you know, had enough there to pull from and make it develop, I think.
And the great thing about Celia, and I just tried to kind of take it on, is Celia doesn't take no for an answer.
I love that about her.
Right?
Yes.
And with anybody,
Right.
where and there's no aggression. It's just this like, I love you.
Yeah.
You know, let's be
Yeah.
friends. Come on, we can all love each other and be friends.
I work Sunday through Friday.
You can't work at all on the weekends.
Okay. Well, what time you want me here?
After 9, and you gotta leave before 4.
Okay. Now, what your husband say you can pay?
Johnny doesn't know I'm bringing in help.
And what Mr. Johnny gonna do when he come home and find a colored woman in his house?
It's not like I'd be fibbing. I just want him to think I can do this on my own. I really need a maid.
Even with Hilly, she has this kind of, you know, no, it's just a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
You know,
and she seemed like the rebel to me. Like she was so completely out of the box.
Yeah.
And you both kind of were like out of the box before your time. Now, speaking of casting and friendships, now how did you come to this role and the help? Because I know there's a huge story behind the development of the process of getting to the actual film and the book. And so tell me about that process for casting for you.
Well, I didn't know Catherine Stockett very well when she was writing the book. I knew Tate very well, and he decided that since we'd known about each other through stories with him, that we should meet. And she sort of loosely based the character of Minnie on me.
Yeah.
And I think from the moment that we met, she and I, and then Tate and Brunson Green, one of the film's producers, Chris Columbus, all these people came on board, and they were all very supportive. And the studio also was very supportive. So I fell into a pot of jam, and I am
Probably
still
jam.
licking
Yes,
the lid.
you should lick your fingers. And what about you, Jessica?
You know, I come into this group, I came in as a stranger, but I absolutely stay as a friend. And that's the wonderful thing about making a film. It was like a big family, and everyone was really supportive of each other. You felt, as an actor, that you could be really brave. It was scary for me. I was talking about with the accent and the hair. It's like so
I
much,
loved it, though.
so
You're so
crazy
Maryland.
different.
Yeah.
But that's a big risk to take, and I always felt like I had people had my back, and encouraged me to be brave and take that risk.
So what do you want the audience to walk away with? What should we expect?
I want boys, girls, men, women, everyone to
it.
find the humanity in the project.
Yeah, I hope that inspires people to look at themselves and ask themselves if they're being authentic to who they are, and to speak out if there's something happening that they don't agree with or don't believe in. And yeah, that's what I think the great thing about the film is.
Congratulations.